And welcome back to part 8 of What If Obito Adopted or / Kidnapped Naruto. So, this will be the only What If I'm doing today. I'm going to just bump the last What If I had to do to tomorrow, along with the 2 Who Would Wins I'm going to be doing. B, I need to do a little bit of house cleaning because some people pointed out some things from the previous videos that I need to address. A, I said that Sanhata was still around and that the Akatsuki got a new member to just take the sword up. I had honestly forgotten that I had actually gotten rid of the sword through some circumstance, so there is no extra member there. Now, I apologize for that. Some people have said that you should really write stuff down. Generally speaking, I don't normally need to, but in our circumstances like that, you're right. I probably should. But also, even if I had written it down, I might have forgotten that part anyway, just because, again, when you get a new Pokemon game and you fall behind on certain things, you tend to forget some things. Someone, though, also brought up that you said I had Gaara get kidnapped, so there wouldn't be a Gaara retrieval arc. Well, yes and no. Yes, I had him kidnapped, but they did manage to save him. So I'm pretty certain I had him saved. Pretty certain on that. So there's still a Gaara retrieval arc in this version. So no worries there. Last but not least, people have been bringing up, because I brought it up, about who Naruto might end up getting paired up with, because they all got paired up at the end. And now, some people are saying, like, I'm sick and tired of Naruto Hina. Don't do Naruto Hina. Make him gay, whatever. Just don't put on with Hinata. Well, don't worry. I flat out said in that video that I wasn't going to pair him with Hinata. It doesn't make sense. There's no logical sense for that in this scenario. Friendship, sure. Not a relationship. It's just that bond from childhood that Hinata and Naruto, that unspoken thing, that's not there in this. So I basically said that the third 2 big options would probably be either Tenten or Tenten or Ino. Now, but a couple of you brought up 1 or 2 other options that I didn't consider because I just wasn't thinking on it at the time. And not going to say who I'm going to go with, but I will say it's probably one of the 3, Tenten and the other 2. Who exactly? Well, we'll wait and see. By the by, only one of those people is suggested is an actual Uzumaki. Just because someone has red hair does not make them an Uzumaki. As far as I can find on the official wiki page, like the official information for Naruto, there's no information saying that character is an Uzumaki. So let's get that out of the way. So anyway, we focus now in on the Gaara retrieval arc, which has our main Team 7, Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto. Naruto now being, back from, or Naruto now being, around the whole time. Everyone is tuning at this point, so it's Kakashi, them, they go out. Now, they meet up with Temari, obviously, there's that. There isn't that whole fight to test them as we got in the original version of Shippuden, because Naruto had been gone. Because they've been there for the past 7 years. Or past 3 years, Team 7. So they meet up with Gaara, or they meet up with Temari, they go to Chiyo, that whole debacle takes place with her and Kakashi. Then they go, now remember, Itachi is in the village. Who do they get to possibly stall Naruto there exactly? Well, that's the question. Honestly, I think they don't, because remember, at this point, 3 years later, Pain and or Nagato and Conan are kind of on the double agent side. Not exactly, but the double agent side of things. So they don't even let him. The Zetsu lets them know. It's like we cannot afford to lose Shikaku. Well, keep up the ceiling of the Shikaku. If it gets to that point where they come in and try to take the Shikaku back, we'll deal with it. So remember, it's Deidara and Obito are there, and Obito's like Obito is basically saying, as to Obito, we should really do this. We should really do this. He's still putting on that front, basically. But Deidara's like, Naruto. So Naruto, you come back to me. Good. And they eventually get their Team Guy releases the seal. They have to fight their doubles. And basically Team 7 breaks in, and it's time to play. And basically, remember, Sasori is no longer there, so we have to deal with Dedra. And Naruto immediately, goes after Sasuke to save him. And, Dedra, fires, breaks the seal, throws a couple explosives at him. They don't do anything as Naruto can blast him back with wind. And the fight kind of goes down. Obito and Naruto let me rephrase it this way. Naruto is immediately concerned with Gaara. He gets Gaara, but then he looks up and he sees Daddy-o. He sees Obito there. And he knows it's him, even if he's wearing a mask. He knows, because I'm sure Obito showed him that mask before. Like, this is the identity I use when I'm with everyone else. You know my face, but they don't. So, and it's a secret. For the sake of the world, I gotta hide my identity from these guys. All that kind of bull. So Naruto is very much seething, looking at him after everything he's done. And he basically says to Kakashi, take care of this guy. I'm focusing on I'm focusing on Dad. And now remember, he probably never actually told him his actual name. Obito probably never told Naruto his actual name. So just because Naruto knows who he is under the mask doesn't mean Kakashi does. Kakashi probably would have asked him about it, and Naruto was just like, he said his name was Toby and all that. Pardon me, sorry. I apologize for that. Acid reflux and all that. It can be a bitch. Trust me, I'm turning 30, it takes a little bit of a toll on your body, and apparently my toll is, upon turning 30, I got severe acid reflux now. Actually, I'm feeling okay. It's just burping a lot is one of the symptoms. I digress. So, Naruto basically, confronts so Naruto, you come back to me. And Naruto is squaring off with him, but basically it's Sakura and Sasuke who take on Dedra. Kakashi actually shows up behind him and say, "Yeah, and he's not enough." Kakashi, I thought I said I got this. No offense, Naruto, but this is a bit of a personal issue for you, and I can't take the risk that your mindset isn't in the right place. To which Naruto's like, fine. Besides, I've got questions for him as well. Oh, Kakashi, you've got questions for me. Isn't very unlike you. Well, back in the day, you would barely give me the back what would be a way to phrase this sentence properly? Way back when, you'd barely give me the time of day. It's like that's when I clearly know you. You clearly know me. So I must clearly know you. Who are you? It's like, wouldn't you like to know, Kakashi? Right now, I'd like to have a talk with my son. You're not my father. After all I've done for you, that's what you're going to say? Oh, Naruto, that hurts. After all, how can a son talk to his father like that? I'd never talk to you like that. And then Naruto basically just fires off a couple attacks and goes through like, no, you know that won't do anything. Kakashi now is preparing a Kamui and just, charging it up. And because he can tell, it's like he's got some sort of space-time ninjutsu that lets him warp his body, so he's preparing his own thing while Naruto's got him distracted. So why don't you just calm down and come back to Akatsuki? It's really the best option. It's like, screw you! And Naruto charges in again. He's just basically throwing one attack to kill. Naruto, this is so pointless. Why are you? And all of a sudden he's starting to feel his body warp. He's like, Kakashi, I see you've gained the Kamui. And Kakashi's like, how does he know that? And then he basically just stops the Kamui from working. He's like, but that's not going to work on me, Kakashi. And then Kakashi's like, he stopped Kamui. So then, all of a sudden, he actually gets boom, and then just gets thrown into a wall, and he just, Naruto hit me. How can it be that fast? And then he just sees, and Naruto's got the fox cloak up, and I don't mean you know what I mean by that. Is he doesn't have tails? He's got the Kyuubi chakra mode on, and he's just staring daggers at him. And just like, oh, what is this for? It's like, this is what happens when you actually make admit to your mistakes, when you actually apologize, and you actually try to make something of your relationships, Dad. And then he blitzes Obito again. This time Obito's prepared, so Naruto phases through there. Naruto just cracks right out there, blasts him back with some wind. Obito is now just kind of being flung around a little bit. Even with Kamui on, he's not immune to the fundamental forces of the world. Things like gravity, things like wind. He'll still get blown back by shockwaves and stuff like that. He also only has a limit on how long he can do Kamui for in terms of the phasing effects. So Obito is definitely surprised as Naruto then blitzes him again. Again, he wasn't prepared for this as he got blown back. Turns around and gets another clip to the jaw, boom, and the mask the bottom part of the mask breaks. So now he's basically Kakashi can kind of see his face. Can't make it out, but he can kind of see a bit of a scar down there. He's got a scar, and then he can see the Sharingan glowing in his eyes. Like, this isn't over, Naruto, and always for you, Kakashi. And it's like, and again, he's kind of piecing it together. The black hair, a Sharingan in his eye, a little bit of a scar on the opposite side of Kakashi. And then he realizes, no, it can't be. It can't be. And then basically, Obito gets the hell out of there. Now, obviously, Sasuke and Sakura take care of Dedera pretty easy. Dedera still gets away. But they're able to rescue Gaara, and Gaara's still alive. They were able to get it before the Shikage was completely extracted. The remaining Akatsuki members, including Zetsu, Hidan, Kakuzu, they're all doing, they're all gone. Meanwhile, Konan basically kind of shows back up in hologram form, or hologram ninjutsu form, however that worked, and basically just kind of relays information to Naruto. And only Naruto. Like, I'm certain she'd have a method of doing that only Naruto could pick up. Probably like origami or something like that. It's like a little flower sitting in there, and it hovers down. Naruto grabs it, and then Princess Leia, Konan, shows up and explains that it's like she would relay information to Naruto saying, like, we would like to meet with you and Master Jiraiya at your earliest convenience. And then Naruto says, okay, how about this time, this place, so on and so forth. It's like, very well. So they get Gaara back. Everything's all hunky-dory. Kakashi can still move around. They get back to the village. So there is no Sasuke retrieval arc because Sasuke is not with Orochimaru. Actually, instead, what we do get is Orochimaru basically finding the Akatsuki and finding Obito, who's, fixing his mask, and he's pissed off. It's like, it would seem you need some help there, Madara. Or do you prefer Obito? Or do you prefer Obito? Is it, what was that? And it's like, oh, come. And then basically just says, I know your secret. I won't tell the few others you've got remaining here, but you're clearly in need of some help. And luckily for you, I'm here to help you. I've even brought a couple recruits for you. And he even brings in Suigetsu and Jungo, who fortunately he's able to keep under control. Well, to be fair, Kimimaro and Sasuke are the only ones who could really keep Jungo in check, but I'm certain Orochimaru, with all his abilities, would have a method of doing it on some level. And Suigetsu are there too. Yes, just to fill in your ranks. And why, Shelby? Because you could be beneficial to me as much as I could be beneficial to you. You want the tail beast. I only want one thing. And it's like, and what is it that you want? Sasuke Uchiha. So meanwhile, Naruto relays to Jiraiya. Him and Jiraiya go again to the meeting spot they had all those years ago. And again, it's Konan, and only the Yaiko path are there. And basically, it's a bit awkward. And Konan comments like, you've grown quite a bit, Naruto. I was like, thank you. And then Jiraiya's like, so what's the information you have? It's like, basically, Nagato steps forth as Konan, or as Pain, basically, just Master Jiraiya, Naruto. And 3 years ago, you came to us telling us the situation at hand. And at the time, we weren't At the time, I wasn't certain what my stance was on this. On basically, this. Was I doing the right thing? Was I not? Was this the path to peace that you had always imagined for us, Sensei? And now 3 years have come and gone, and I can finally give you my answer. It's like I will not go through. I cannot go through with the plan with the tail. Well, whatever the actual plan was to build a super weapon. Um, in essence, it really wasn't that though, and even Nagato probably knows something's up with that. But I cannot leave Akatsuki. If I leaving Akatsuki, we're wanted criminals, Narchiraya. Me, especially myself. The reputation of Akatsuki is grand. But Conan, on the other hand, and Conan just steps forward because they've had this discussion at this point. She is not among the ranks of missing nin. We've never had it. My reputation grows vast. Conan's does not. So very rarely, anyway. So I not only that, but I am the it's the Japanese name for the village hidden in the rain is like Amiuragi or Amiruki, or I can't remember the exact. He'd be the Amikage, I believe it was. So, but again, basically he explains out Conan has agreed to defect, is what it is. But it can't be at this moment because information has. Well, actually, no. The Orochimaru stuff happens between there. So Conan's choosing to defect and go to the leave. And she's going to be under scrutiny for a little bit, all that, but she's going to be a valuable asset. She agrees with that. And then basically Jiraiya's like, "Are you sure about this, Conan?" It's like, "I am." And basically, but I have a question. What has become of Itachi? And that's a question that, when you think about it for 3 years, complete compliance, all that, what has become of Itachi? Well, after about a year and a half, they all agreed that, despite the fact he's a criminal and everything along those lines, what he did benefit the village in the long term. It prevented conflict. So while he did spend time behind bars and things along those lines, after 3 years coming on, he is back in the village. In fact, he is a ninja in the village once again, because they'd be stupid not to have him as a ninja on their, as an active ninja. Now, he was still under strict probation. He was downgraded to a tuning, but he was honestly happy to be just in service again. Also, after 3 years, Tsunade cured his respiratory disease. It took because again, it's not said what type of respiratory disease he had. Just that we know he was coughing up blood, so it's probably something like tuberculosis or something along those lines. But with Tsunade's medical training, enough time, medicine, and effort, she cleaned him up. Him and Sasuke are on good terms. They're not on like, "Hey, brother, yes, my brother," but they're on speaking terms. They are on working terms. It is doable. And Sasuke isn't the last Uchiha in the village anymore, which means a lot of women stopped hounding him and started hounding Itachi again. To where Sasuke was still able to make a joke. I was like, "Oh, you've missed this, haven't you, bro?" Oh, wait. Oh, God. No, we're going to. Oh, yeah. Now you're back. Half the fangirls are going to you now. Thank you so much for being back, brother. This is the most brotherly thing you've ever done for me. It's like, maybe not quite like that, but Sasuke actually is able to poke fun at Itachi a little bit. And those little moments there are very crucial for like the healing between the two siblings. And with 3 years basically coming on, they are on good terms with. They're on definitely suitable terms with each other, definitely. So Itachi is well, and then Naruto says Itachi's actually doing great. He's back as a ninja. He's only a chunin right now, but he's doing good work, and he's been a great asset to the village, and he's still been a good friend, and he's still there. And Konan's basically just, "That's good. I'm glad to hear that." And basically, he's like, so will you be defecting immediately, or will you be lingering with Akatsuki a bit longer to gather a bit more intel? To which, the Nagato, or basically Yaiko, main pain, Deva pain, basically looks at Conan and like, that is up to you, Conan. It's like, I think I will stay a bit longer with the Akatsuki before I go, just so we get the information down, in case anything has gone down since our absence. So they agree in about a week's time that she'll join Konoha, or Konoha. Now we get basically into this weird area here. There's like there's this gap of time because there's no Sasuke retrieval arc between that and when Hidan and Kakuzu basically take out Azuma. And when that's going, with that going on, eventually, yes, Konan does show up to the village. She, comes in willingly, surrenders. She also gives information that, yes, Orochimaru has rejoined the Akatsuki, and this is good. Apparently, Toby was furious. Or the one that calls himself Madara was furious. So she's under more of a probation period thing than anything else. They can't really go outside the village, but that said, she's getting used to the village. Itachi, as a former Akatsuki and comrade to her, offers her the Uchiha compound to stay at for a while. Sasuke gives him a look like she's a former comrade and a friend, nothing more, Sasuke. It's like, yeah, sure. It's like, oh god. It's like, Konan's like, what is he doing? Nothing, just a little brother being a little brother. Oh, alright, well, anyway. So, that happens again, and actually it would be Orochimaru, I think, that'd be tasked with getting the 3 and 4 tails. Along with, and I think basically it'd be the weird scenario that Sugetsu and Jungo would actually be accompanying, they'd be Orochimaru's entourage. Normally Akatsuki travel in pairs. These guys would travel as a trio. So they would be the ones tasked with getting the 3 and 4 tails. Orochimaru would probably struggle a bit with the 4 tails, but probably wouldn't have any trouble with the 3 tails. Well, ultimately, they both get them, and they're both, siphoning them off. Pain is keeping up, keeping up appearances. And, doing his job, because ultimately what he can do is turn the tail beast on Madara when the time is right. But then eventually you get to Kakuzu and Hidan taking out Azuma. And that echoes through. And to be fair, Naruto at this point probably has a Rasengan down. Rasen Shuriken. He just can't throw at this point because he still hasn't done Sage Mode training yet. But it is still him going to aid them. And that fight goes down about the same, except it's Team 7. Minus Sai, obviously. So Team 7, Sasuke and him help, collaborate and take out Hidan. That's about what goes down there. There is no Sasuke retrieval arc, a secondary retrieval arc, or Itachi Sasuke arc. But what we do see happen is basically Naruto in the downtime talking with Itachi, talking with Konan. Everything seems to be going well. But he's walking around, he's at Ichiraku Ramen, and, there's someone sits down next to him, and she asks for a bowl of something to eat, and she goes, thanks, whatever, and just not in the mood to deal with people. And he goes, what's up with you? What's up with you? Oh, Taiyo, what are you doing? How are you? It's like, what do you care? It's like, well, geez, sorry, I was just trying to be nice. And then Taiyo actually kind of takes yeah, sorry, I'm fine for the most part, just been a rough freaking week. Say, oh yeah, well, I can imagine. I mean, it took you a while to be inducted into the ninja course to begin with. And I mean, you were already at the jet. He explains, he kind of just sums up. I was like, I mean, I guess tuning life isn't that easy. I was like, yo, God, tell me about it. So basically, they just kind of have a nice conversation. Taiya is a valuable asset when you really break it down. There was no way that if they could get, because with Jiraiya there, they were able to keep. Because if Kakashi could put a seal around the curse mark to kind of keep it at bay, Jiraiya could easily do something a lot stronger, and he clearly did that, or clearly would do that, same as he did with Sasuke. So after she's pretty much kind of not within Orochimaru's control, she's free, technically. So yeah, she joined the Konoha Ninja Corps, and for what it's worth, she's actually found a solid life here. No, she doesn't have a lot of friends per se, but she definitely has acquaintances. I'm sure, like the ramen shop owner, Ichiraku. He's a nice guy, so he's pretty cordial. Most of the older ninja actually don't look down on her. They understand the circumstance, and that's fine. that being said, her crass attitude and vulgar language sometimes can be a bit jarring and a bit, that's the best way to put it, can be a little standoffish. So she doesn't have many friends among her own peers, per se, among her own age range. But Naruto is Naruto. He's just kind of been like, it's fine, whatever. It's cool. To which she honestly appreciates it. Like, this isn't the first conversation they've had before. I'm sure because they both probably, at this point, frequent Ichiraku quite a bit. They've had interaction with each other. So they actually enjoy each other's company. And really, they basically just, they have a nice working relationship. They consider yourself friends. And that's really where that relationship kind of lies at this point. Now, obviously, I brought Tayuya back into the picture, A, because people brought up the fact that, oh yeah, I actually kept her alive, so it makes sense to bring her back into the picture. But B, as you can see why I brought her in, it's a pairing I don't think it's spoken about very often. So, and because she's dead, obviously, so there's no way that pairing could have even happened. But because I brought her back and gave her a chance, why not? Right now, it's more just good, decent relationship between the two in terms of working and friendship. So don't read too deep into anything right now. But yeah, there's not much else to really go over when it comes to any of this in terms of this arc. Really, the arc that's really going to come next is the Invasion of Pain arc. And that one is going to be a little different, but we're going to save that for tomorrow. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who to win, Star Wars, Superhero, Magic, What If, anything you do on the channel, put that in the comments below as well. Let me know. I'll get to that at some point. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you tomorrow. And happy pre-Thanksgiving. And in case you don't see you tomorrow, which I don't know why you wouldn't, happy Thanksgiving. So, later.